Bezrat Hashem, tonight we're going to be counting Tiferet Gevurah. We're going to be counting the 10th day of Sefirat Omer. Tiferet Gevurah, we want to title it in a few words. I will say it in Hebrew and then translate it to English is Lefaer et ha'ometz. Amen. What does it mean lefaer? Lefaer means to glorify. Or another word in Hebrew for lefaer is leshabeach, is to praise. And ometz is courage, of course. We spoke about yesterday in Gevurah Gevurah that we need to have courage to be able to apply the strength and the severity and the Gevurah in me. You need courage for that. But once you already did that, then it has to be praised and it has to be glorified. So, by nature, as humans, we usually praise and we glorify a hero, whether it's a hero in our generation or whether it's a hero from a previous generation or in the past. Unfortunately, to most people, the hero is a soccer player or an NBA player or a boxer or some other champion. This is not necessarily the hero that we're referring to, even though we're not going to take from the honor and the respect of a great athlete or a great mathematician or scientist, because they obviously achieved something, so must be something there. So even a good athlete, you can appreciate the fact that he was very consistent for 30 years and he was able to achieve results. But nevertheless, one way or another, however you're going to look at it, we do have the nature in us to praise and to glorify a hero. And the thing is that we need to do it on a real hero, not on some fake hero. But it's extremely important to us that we always have a hero. And I'm not talking about Superman right now. I'm talking about a great rabbi, a great scholar, a great leader in the Jewish nation, and a great leader, again, I'm not talking about a prime minister, a great leader, I'm talking about in the path of the Torah. And the reason why we want to have that is because we need a role model. I need to look at somebody in the world of the Torah and to be able to see the quality here and to learn something from that. In the teachings of Rambam, of Maimonides, he said that it's extremely important that we assign, so to say, a tzaddik, a role model that I look and say, that's my role model. And later on we're going to talk a little bit more what it means to have this role model. But first we have to understand what it means, the word Tiferet. So since we're counting today Tiferet Gevurah, Gevurah we already explained 2 days ago. Now we need to understand a little bit what Tiferet means. So the word Tiferet has two meanings. It has the meaning, what is called a noun, a shem etzem. Tiferet can be explained as a noun. And that's a way to express glory or splendor, what is called pe'er. This is Tiferet. Tiferet comes from the root in Hebrew, pei aleph resh, pe'er, which is glory. Pe'er is not, by the way, luxury. I know a lot of people think that pe'er means luxury. It's true that the word in Hebrew, pe'er or mefoar is luxurious, pe'er is luxury. This is not what we're talking about. Yes, it's the same root, but the root of Tiferet is the pe'er, which is splendor and glory. And needless to say, also beauty. So when Tiferet is a noun, then this is how we explain it. The glory and the splendor and the beauty. But Tiferet can also be an action. And the action of Tiferet is to beautify and to praise whatever I want. So when it's a noun, like I told you, this is the glory and the splendor. When it's an action, it's to praise something or to beautify something. So when I have Tiferet Gevurah, then that means to appraise or more to appreciate the beauty in the Gevurah and then to praise it. And you need to recognize when something was done in the right Gevurah, in the right strength. I mean, sometimes it takes a long time for a person to gather this strength to do something. and to stand on his ground, his or hers, doesn't matter. So when it's done, and when you see the beauty in the Gevurah, then it has to be praised. Now, therefore, that's why I said before, it's important that we have a hero, because when I have a hero, I need to sometimes relate with that hero. And when I relate, doesn't mean that I'm in the same position of that individual, but I see similarities, and I see a certain path. How many people that they look at a person in the path and they say, that's my life. Or you try to see a great sage, a great scholar, a great prophet, and it can go on both a female and a male. It doesn't have to be necessarily a male. Many people, many women, their hero is Naomi, or Miriam, or Yocheved, or whatever it is. But nevertheless, it's a person that I can relate with. So what's the benefit when I have this hero? Why do I need a hero like that? To put a picture on the wall? I can put many pictures on the wall. What's the benefit? I need some type of a benefit if I'm already applying it into my life. Very important to know that this hero I can't worship. I can't think this hero is beyond the nature or beyond a human. This is already a very dangerous borderline. The hero is to inspire me. It's not to take a certain individual, whether that individual is alive or whether that individual lived 200 years ago or 1,000 years ago, and to hang a picture on the wall and to say, this is my God. This is already idolatry. This is a very dangerous line to cross. But nevertheless, I still need a hero. I'm using the word hero. The Mishnah calls it a whole different way. The Mishnah says, Aseh lecha rav, make yourself a rabbi. Now, it doesn't have to be necessarily the chief rabbi of the city or a rabbi of the congregation, but the rabbi is your teacher. The Mishnah tells you very clearly, Aseh lecha rav. You have to make yourself a rav, so you can go with your questions based on not only the halacha question, also any question. I'm now, for this class, calling it a hero. Why? Because usually you look up to the hero, and you relate to the hero, and you want to mimic the hero, and you want to do exactly what the hero does. But it's extremely important that, first of all, you don't take my words out of context, so that you don't understand it the wrong way. We do not idolize this hero. It's not an idol. It's not a god. And we don't make him something that is beyond nature. And we also don't mimic him. This is also very dangerous. You don't mimic your hero. You take inspiration. That's what you do. You look at the individual and say, he was able to do it. That's where I take my inspiration. It's very important not to mimic. I know many times people, they assign themselves this hero, and then they like a carbon copy. The hero goes like this, they go like that too. I have a relative that, Baruch Hashem, became more observant, but unfortunately, I don't know if to say unfortunately, but nevertheless, he's what they call in our days challenged in many different ways. I don't want to use certain words. Once I used the word and people said it's a derogatory word. Whatever it is, we'll call it now challenge in many different ways. I call him a tzaddik because when the soul is way too big for the body to handle, and the body doesn't know how to handle the light of the soul. So we see it as some problem, but really the soul is greater than the capacity of the body. But nevertheless, he was very, very sensitive. I took him once to the mikveh. He was like on a high that I never saw any person like that. And what was amazing about him, that we would give him a book to prayer, and I said that many, many times. He would read the entire Siddur with the commentary, with the explanations. And it says in the Siddur sometimes, now congregation must stand. He would say, now congregation must stand. He would say the Kaddish, he would say everything. And at one point we were praying, and we were praying the prayer of Shabbat. He was already in Yom Tov, I don't know where he was. And I told him, no, you went like 300 pages forward. So the rabbi at the shul told me, let him do his thing, let him do his thing. So we used to call him the Baal Shem Tov Jew. I don't know if you're familiar with the story that the Baal Shem Tov once used to travel from town to town. And one time the Baal Shem Tov reached to one town. And on the next day when he was leaving, he went on his little boat and they started going on the lake. And one simple Jew started running, hey, Rabbi. And he was running and running and running. He didn't even notice. He started running on the water. And then when he reached to the boat, The Baal Shem Tov sees him standing on the water and he tells him, can you show me again in the Siddur what you meant, where I have to pray and where not? The Baal Shem Tov says, whatever you're doing great. Keep on doing what you're doing. So, same thing with this relative of mine. We just told him, just keep on praying. But why am I saying about my relative? Is because whatever we would do in the minyan, he would do. Right? So if everybody went like this, he would go like this too. If everybody took 3 steps back, say shalom bimromav, he took 3 steps back. So if I would do by mistake, so he would do. If I would go like this, he would mimic me. Told him, no. You don't have to mimic every move. He just wanted to fit so that he would look like everybody. So we can't mimic the hero. I can't be a carbon copy. He did like this, I will do like this too. I have to draw inspiration. That's the idea of the hero. So practically saying, we like taking a little exercise home. I have to recognize the hero in my life. If I don't have a hero, find yourself a hero. And again, I'm using the word hero. I will now define it more specific. An image, a person, not an image, a person, a rabbi, a scholar, a prophet, a female, a male, doesn't matter, that was extremely powerful in our history, of course in the path of Torah, that I can draw inspiration and say, I relate with that person, with the difficulties that person went through his life, with the challenges that person went through his life. And by the way, most of the great people in our nation, in our history, their life was extremely hard and difficult and full of challenges. So I need to relate with someone and say, that is my role model. Now, once I recognize who is this role model in my life, what can I learn from this role model? And again, not to idolize the model, to say, the model was very strong in this area in his life. My role model was very strong in this area in his life, and I follow it. And this is the idea of Tiferet shebagvurah. To see something that is unbelievably amazing, successful when it comes to Gevurah, to severity, strength, and to know how to get things done, and to say, that's where I'm drawing my inspiration. And to follow that. B'ezrat Hashem, again, you find the hero in your life, and then you mimic it, and you draw your inspiration, so you will be able to take this power of Gevurah and to be able to apply it successfully in your life.